If you have spent any time recently in Black Hawk Park, you may have noticed trees with markings on them. Black Hawk County Conservation is preparing for a timber stand improvement project in Black Hawk Park later this year. A similar project was done in 2010, and Conservation Director Mike Hendrickson says it's important to his staff to take the time to listen to the forest and understand what it needs.
We don't jump in immediately and do things just helter-skelter. We do take time. These areas are stand mapped, as in Jim has worked through this during his career. He goes through here and he knows what's in these different areas. And then he can go back 10 years later and go, okay, so when I was in this area 10 years ago, a lot of small hackberries, but were they going to actually make it? We don't really know yet. But 10 years later, you walk in and you see this, like, oh, they are making it. So now the cycle has started. And it's a cycle that if we don't alter it, then it's going to continue to keep creating what it's creating, which is really not, you never want a monoculture of any species in a section of timber. That's a plan that will fail.
Part of Black Hawk County's plan for forest management includes timber stand improvement, or TSI. It is the practice of managing woodlands, in part by opening the forest canopy and allowing adequate sunlight to the forest floor, stimulating growth for the next generation of trees. As Jim Weimer, Black Hawk County wildlife conservationist, describes, TSI is a controlled way to promote a healthy forest.
If you take away tornadoes, flooding, derechos, straight line winds, if you take that out of a forest, we try to provide a disturbance in a controlled manner. Instead of an uncontrolled natural disturbance, we try to provide a disturbance in a controlled manner where we do our harvesting, our thinning of the forest. It's a disturbance to the area, but it's a good disturbance, which provides more sunlight, especially for our hardwood trees and our oak trees. And that's basically a lot of what we do in all of our forests, is provide a disturbance in the forest that needs it, so our future generations, especially of oak trees, are there for many, many generations down the road. So
whether it's conservation staff doing the work or hiring a contractor for bigger projects, Black Hawk County Conservation has been implementing TSI principles throughout the thousands of acres of county woodlands for over 60 years, always with the goal of preserving the health and beauty of our county parks.
We have a fairly healthy forest in most situations, and it's because of the management that was done even before we got here. Mm-hmm. So they set it up for us. It's up to us to leave it to the next generation, and so on and so forth. That's what's important here.
This next phase of timber stand improvement can be seen on this map of Black Hawk Park. 175 trees will be removed from nearly 69 acres of wooded area, which averages to just 2.5 trees per acre. Once removed, the remaining forest will have the opportunity to flourish.
There are nuts in the ground. There are nuts in the ground waiting to sprout if the opportunity comes. And once that sun starts to get inside here, they will pop up. And but as long as we do nothing with this will continue to evolve into, as these walnuts, deteriorate more and eventually fall. If we wouldn't do something with them, the hackberry it's going to thrive in here because these are the conditions it needs. So we're altering those conditions to get the more desirable species to grow.
Once started, the project will be completed in approximately 2 weeks, weather permitting. The trees that have been marked for removal will be harvested for lumber, and county conservation staff will use the treetops for firewood, mulching, and creating new habitats for wildlife. During the project, park visitors can expect road closures within the park to allow for equipment workspace. As the project wraps up, visitors might see logs being ready for removal. In the spring, visitors will notice more sunlight in the park, allowing for the next generation of trees to grow. In a few years, the forest will have reset, and it'll be difficult to tell where the project took place, other than that the forest will be healthy and thriving.
So not only we're looking at the health of the forest, but all the wildlife, the insects, mammals, amphibians, reptiles that use that too. We want to maintain and improve what's here. and going into the future too. So
For more information about the TSI project in Black Hawk Park, contact the Black Hawk County Conservation Office at 319-433-7275. Or read more about Black Hawk County's ongoing forest management efforts on our website, linked below.